Bernard Law Montgomery, known simply as Monty, was born on November 17, 1887, in London. The son of an Anglican bishop, Monty was raised in a strict household. He was a disciplined child, some would say rigid. His early years were spent under the stern watch of his mother, who demanded excellence in everything he did. Montgomery's military journey began at the Royal Military College at Sandhurst, where he trained with the sharp, unwavering focus that would define his career. Graduating in 1908, he joined the British Army, quickly establishing a reputation for discipline, courage, and what would later be called a stubborn streak. When the First World War broke out in 1914, Montgomery found himself in the trenches of Belgium. The brutality of the Great War shaped him. He was severely wounded and nearly lost his life at Ypres. That experience solidified his conviction in strategy, preparation, and careful planning. To Monty, recklessness had no place on the battlefield. Between the wars, Montgomery applied himself to studying military strategy, honing his skills in tactics and leadership. He was exacting and sometimes harsh with his men, demanding excellence in training and discipline. While this made him few friends among his peers, it did earn him the respect of his subordinates. Monty believed that a well-prepared army was a successful army, and he intended to prove it. In August 1942, with the Axis forces advancing through North Africa, the British Army needed a leader who could turn the tide. Winston Churchill selected Montgomery to command the 8th Army in the deserts of Egypt. His task was monumental: defeat Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, the famed Desert Fox. The Battle of El Alamein would become Montgomery's proving ground. In October 1942, after months of rigorous preparation, he launched an assault against Rommel's forces. It was one of the largest tank battles in history, a fierce contest in the unforgiving desert. Montgomery's meticulous planning and calculated strategy turned the battle in favor of the Allies, pushing the Axis forces out of Egypt. The victory at El Alamein marked a turning point in the war. It was here that Montgomery's reputation as a fearless and formidable leader was cemented. He had defeated Rommel and secured the first major British land victory of World War II. For the British people, Monty became a national hero. Flush with success, Montgomery was assigned to lead British forces in the Allied invasion of Sicily in July 1943. But Sicily would test more than his battlefield skills. Here, Monty clashed with his American counterpart, General George Patton, a bold and impulsive commander. Their differing styles were apparent. Monty's meticulous planning contrasted sharply with Patton's aggressive speed. By 1944, the Allies were preparing for the largest amphibious assault in history, the invasion of Normandy. Montgomery was appointed commander of all Allied ground forces, responsible for planning the D-Day landings and leading the troops into occupied France. The stakes were enormous, and Monty's attention to detail and unshakable confidence were paramount. On June 6, 1944, the Allies landed on the beaches of Normandy. It was a brutal, bloody assault, but the meticulous planning paid off. The Allies broke through, and Montgomery pushed his forces inland, battling through hedgerows and fortified towns. Flush with the success of D-Day, Montgomery proposed a bold new plan, Operation Market Garden. His aim was to end the war quickly by capturing key bridges in the Netherlands and paving the way for a swift advance into Germany. It was a high-risk strategy that required precision, but Monty was confident. Market Garden proved to be one of Montgomery's few failures. While the initial stages went well, fierce German resistance at Arnhem halted the advance, and the operation ended in retreat. It was a bitter defeat that shook Montgomery's reputation, but he remained steadfast in his commitment to the Allied cause. Despite the setback at Arnhem, Montgomery's reputation was restored as the Allies pushed into Germany. He led the British across the Rhine and into the heart of the Third Reich. His meticulous tactics and unyielding leadership helped secure victory, and on May 7, 1945, the war in Europe ended. After the war, Montgomery served as Chief of the Imperial General Staff and later as Deputy Supreme Allied Commander in NATO. But his post-war years were marked by controversy. He was outspoken, often clashing with political leaders. Known for his stubbornness and ego, Monty's views made him a divisive figure, even as his wartime legacy was celebrated.